You know, if you make a statement such as this lure is the best lure or the best lure for a particular purpose, that's a big statement. There's a lot of lures out there. But if you look at lures, okay, let me back up. I am a disciple of Buck Perry. I've followed Buck Perry for 50 years. I've been a spoon plugger for 50 years. I've followed the man's teachings because he is the father of modern fishing, the most knowledgeable fisherman that ever was, period. And what he taught is just the pure basics of fishing, how to find and how to catch any kind of fish anywhere in the world, any time of the year. And I've been a follower of his forever. And the reason that I put these videos up is because people have asked me, I mean, you catch a lot of fish, why don't you show people how you do it? Well, they don't know really what they're asking, so what catches fish is knowledge. Knowledge takes some study, it takes some while. Now, we are fortunate, very fortunate that Buck Perry, who went around the world teaching, fishing for a living, and he had a few instructors, and his number one instructor was a man named Don Dixon, and Don retired 20 years or so ago. Buck died several years ago, and Don retired. Well, Don looked around, and nobody's teaching the truth about fishing, successful fishing. Nobody, absolutely nobody. Everybody out there basically is trying to sell you lures or trying to sell you something. But Don Dixon, he looked around and nobody was teaching Buck Perry. Nobody's teaching the truth about fishing. So Don made a series of videotapes or YouTube videos that teaches Buck Perry from A to Z. I strongly suggest that you go to YouTube, Don Dixon Fishing, learn it where you can learn how to catch any kind of fish anywhere in the world any time of the year. But now Buck, and part of his teaching was, he said, you can break lures down into 4 categories, okay? You've got topwater, which are wonderful when they're effective, but they're not effective but a very, very small percentage of the time, less than 1% of the time. Then you've got weedless, and that's what it is. That's a lure that you're using in snags or weeds or whatever. You use those when necessary. Okay, then you've got free-running, bottom-bumping lures, or what we call today crankbaits. Most people today call crankbaits. And they are the backbone of the fishing. They're the most versatile lure there is as a whole. And then you've got jump-type lures. This is lures that you can use, you impart the action to with the action of your rod, the movement of your rod. You lift them off the bottom, you jump them off the bottom, or whatever. Anyway, it's something you generate the movement with your rod. Now, with the first 2 categories, weedless and topwater, there's a lot of them out there, and I haven't really developed really strong feelings toward any of them. I've got a few favorites, and we might get into that sometime. But when it comes to the other 2 categories, the crankbaits, there is no doubt about it. Buck Perry's spoon plug is without a doubt the greatest lure ever invented, period. It will teach you how to fish, and it will catch fish, period. Any kind of fish. So, we're not going to get into that very much, but I'm just going to say that there is no lure anywhere that can even remotely compare to the spoon plug, period. But you need to go to Don Dixon Fishing and learn the simple truth about fishing. Or you can go to buckspoonplugging.com and you can order Buck's material, Buck's books, and his study material. And you can learn how to catch any kind of fish there is, period. Now, so without question, there is no argument about it. The spoon plug, the greatest lure ever invented. And that falls into the category of the free-running, bottom-bumping, or what we call crankbaits. There is no other lure to compare to it. Now, that leaves one other category, and that's the jump-type lures, the lures that you impart the action to with the rod. Now, in my opinion, there is absolutely the most versatile jump type lure there is a blade bait. If the bottom is clean enough, if the waters you're fishing is clean enough where you can use a lure that's got 2 treble hooks and you're bouncing it off the bottom, okay? Now, if it's snaggy and all that stuff, you may want to go to something else. But a blade bait has the reputation of being a wintertime bait. Well, that's crazy. It's just a jump lure. It's just a jump type lure. And it can be used, you can cast it out. You can cast it out and you can crank it back in. You know, you can do that. You can cast it out, let it sink to the bottom and hop it back across the bottom. You can do any number of different kind of retrieves, but it shines and it's at its absolute best when it comes to vertical jigging, deep water vertical jigging. And to me, there is absolutely no lure that can even remotely match it. It had, by using the various weights, you can impart the speed off the lift, off the bottom with your rod. But your speed on the fall, which a lot of fish take, is on the fall. You vary that with the weight. And of blade baits, I use anywhere from 1/4 to 3/4 ounce weights. But most of the time, I'm using the heavier 3/4. And I impart my speed, and remember, it's depth and speed is what catches the fish. So I impart the speed on the lift with my rod, of course, and then I impart the speed going down on the fall. I follow my lure down, or I lead it down with my rod. So I can control the fall. I can control the speed coming up, and I can control the speed going down. And there's precious few lures that appeal to as many different species of fish as does a blade bait. It just resembles shad, or it resembles a whole lot of different bait species. It has a hard vibration that attracts attention to itself. And you can vary the speed tremendously with it. And depth and speed catches fish. And this lure enables you to have a wide range of depth and speed control, even though it is a jump type and not a crank type lure. So do yourself a favor. Go to Don Dixon Fishing and learn how to catch any kind of fish anywhere in the world, any time of the year. And do yourself a favor and really look into blade baits. They are a 12-month out of year lure. So primarily most fish spend most of their time in deep water. Very few, particularly adult fish, spend hardly any time in shallow water. Shallow water meaning water any more or less than 10 feet deep. Most fish spend very little of their time there. They spend most of their time in deep water. And blade baits are at their best fished in deep water. They are a superb deep water jump type lure. I would strongly suggest that you use something like a medium heavy fast taper or fast action rod. Use braided line with a short fluorocarbon leader to give you that feel for that deep water. You're down in deep water. And with monofilament, you just lose so much feel. But with your mainline braided line with a fluorocarbon leader, you got tremendous feel in that deep water. So outfit yourself with a couple of good blade baits. Go start searching out the deeper structures, the deeper portions of the deep structures. And you too will find that a blade bait is an absolutely superb 12-month out of the year lure. Talk soon. Right off the bat. Darn this thing. Good fish. Right off the bat.
Whoa. Whoa. Oh yeah. Nice fish, nice fish, nice fish. Nice fish. Nice fish, nice fish. I gotta get back there. Finally. Finally. It took a while. It definitely took a while. About 43 feet. I don't know where my worker buoy is. It's out here some dang place. Took a while. Good fish. Good fish. Probably a striper. He's sticking a line, I'll tell you that. He likes taking a line, I'll tell you that. He's a line taker. He's giving a lot of ground right now. He's coming up. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh my words, what a hybrid. What a hybrid. Heavens to Betsy. Man, that's a hybrid. The hook doesn't come out of him as soon as I got him up here. Oh, man. What a hybrid. I want you to look. Wait a minute, boy. Let me get a hold of you here. Now that is a hybrid. Oh, land of living. That's a beauty. Wait a minute, boy. Let me get a hold of you here. Now that is a hybrid. Oh, land of living. That's a beauty. Let's get him overboard. Bleeding out. Gracious, what a hybrid. Hybrid, big hybrid. Big hybrid. My marker bud. Work on a hook. Heavens, Betsy worked on a couple of them. What a beauty. What a beauty. Man, there's a lot of them down there. I don't know what they are, but they're a bunch up. Man, I don't know what they was, but I didn't get him to hit nothing. There were several of them down there. Oh, there he goes. I got that one. I got that one. He's a big one too. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, whoa, oh boy. Oh. Goodness gracious. There's a bunch of them under me now. Good ones. Bunch of good ones under me. This fish is not as big as the last one. Yeah. Ooh, whoa, oh boy. Ooh. Goodness gracious. There's a bunch of them under me now. Good ones. Bunch of good ones under me. It's a good fish, but he's not big as that last one by any means. Good fish though. Boy, he spit up a bunch of something. He too's good, but he's not as good as the other one. Come on. Get up and get it back here. Good fish. Good fish. Get him bled out.